Uh, so on to the next story. Some more of that bullshit. Have y'all heard of Bishop Sycamore High School? Yeah, I'm waiting for somebody to come back and tell me if they've heard of this school before this scandal. Because, boy, was it a weird scandal. Apparently, it's a high school who had guys who were supposed to be junior college players on their team. The coach has an arrest warrant out for them. Some of these guys were playing for a high school in Ohio, and they were from, like, Florida. And they still got their ass whipped. They got embarrassed. They faked they lied about the accomplishments of their program, and apparently I guess nobody double checked it until the game came on and they saw IMG Academy spank them. I'm talking about put spankings on national television. They beat them bad. Let's go ahead and get into the story. Let's hear what the newscasters have to say about it.
I don't understand how this could possibly have occurred. Some of these guys are like 20 years old, man. They've been in a JUCO before.
20 years old, played in JUCO, came back to high school, still got that ass whipped. What is going on?
How much did you know about Bishop Sycamore, Bobby?
Oh gosh, that's amazing because that's in Columbus, by the way, which is where I reside.
You gonna send your kids?
Yeah, exactly. First of all, here's the irony of that. Like, you know, I'm not Catholic. My wife's half Catholic. We send our kids, to Catholic school last year during the pandemic because they were in school all 5 days. And when you talk about these schools, like, to be canonized, you have to have been a person. And so, like, you have like St. Francis de Sales, like in Watterson, St. Ed's, and all these different, people. Like, you can't really canonize a tree, like like Bishop Sycamore. What the heck is that? And that should have probably been the first red flag that everybody had. And then also, I've had people, we were talking about this on my morning radio show in Columbus. My neighbors started texting me, like, yeah, I saw these guys practicing at some of our junior high fields on Saturday morning and this and that. I'm like, you serious? Like, oh yeah, they have the same uniforms on there wearing in the game. I caught a little bit of it. And
the night before.
The night before. I mean, it's unbelievable to think that this is where we are in 2021 and you could fabricate all this stuff. And then ESPN went with it and put it on. Like, they had to have some idea leading into that week. Then I know Tom Luganville, who does a great job. Like, he definitely probably smelled a rat, and they were just probably so invested in, like, I don't know what you could do, 4 or 5 days out if you realize that it's, really not a school. It's like, hey, do they have a team? Are they going to play? Can we put it on air? Okay, I guess we'll just kind of roll with it. But I mean, they played IMG last year. They're supposed to have more games here the rest of the season. They played Akron-Hoban, which is a big school, which is also, I believe, a Catholic school. So you would think the diocese would have some sort of conversation, like who you tied in with here. Like, it is unbelievable that this will eventually probably end up being like a 30 for 30
yes.
that was aired on ESPN by ESPN. So they'll be able to fully complete the content loop and make their own stuff.
Hey, now that's crazy. This will definitely be an interesting 30 for 30 story. 30 for 30s, those are like really, some are documentaries. They usually encompass about an hour, no more than 2 hours. But they get into really good detail of sports events. And that's going to be one of them things. Again, Bishop Sycamore fake players, ages. They had out-of-state people. They had people with warrants. The coach had a warrant. And yet they still end up playing some of the best schools in America. They ended up getting on ESPN. Somebody should have been checking. There was a failure in somebody's job along so many lines to even have these kids put in position to be playing these guys. They shouldn't be on the field. But yet, like you said, you were able to commit fraud and even make it to ESPN. But they got their ass whipped.
I completely agree. And I was driving home from the show yesterday. We had a big discussion about this yesterday, as everybody did. I'm sure you did too, and this morning. But not only was ESPN fooled, IMG Academy was fooled into playing them. Like that went way over my head yesterday, and I was driving home thinking, this is a football program that will fly across the country and play literally anybody. They don't want to fly across the country and win 50-0. At least I don't think they do. and 58-0, whatever it might be. They want more of a challenge than that. They can find that in their home state. To me, it was bizarre that Bishop Sycamore has fooled everyone, not just a TV network that picked up their game, but even a team that's willing to schedule them out of state.
I mean, it's the great ruse. It's like the emperor has no clothes. Like, I don't know in 2021 with all the documents and everything that's going on, how you could possibly fabricate this. And they're not the only team that they played. I mean, they've been doing this. There was a guy who I know who reached out to me on social media. He coached in the same conference that my dad coached in. He's like, I left the school I was at. I was there last year, and after 3 games, like, we weren't getting paid. I wasn't really sure who these kids were, if they went to class. He's like, so me and 2 of the other coaches quit. Like, this has been going on now for not just this year, but multiple years, that they've been tricking people and fooling these schools. And I would have to think that at some point in time in 2021, you would need some sort of documentation. The ease that we can PDF stuff and just scan it and send it to people all over the place, that it's not like it's carried by the Pony Express or a passenger pigeon, for heaven's sake. I don't understand how this could possibly have occurred. Some of these guys are like 20 years old, man. They've been in a JUCO.
I didn't give them more details to the story, but I definitely agree. Like, they faked it till they make it. That's like a perfect example of faking it till you make it. Like, they continuously played some of the best schools in the state of Ohio. They had some out-of-town games, and they faked it. Like you said, they just printed up some PDFs and went with it. Like, and the world believed them. ESPN, come on, guys. You got to do better than that. You have to do much better than that. It's your boy, DJTheParkBoy, and I'm here with a special product for you. I got some Delta 8 weed from JK Distro, and I'm saying it's amazing. It's clean, smokable, and the best part is they deliver it right to your door. Because of the 2018 Farm Bill, it's now legal for them to have Delta 8 weed sent through the mail. That's right. And if you use promo code FLOSS1, you can get some clean, smokable weed sent to your door direct. You have options. You go right there to jkdistro.com. You look at all the strands they have, which is a lot. You can even get you some edibles. You can get you some wine. Anything in between you can think of. You put in promo code FLOSS1, you're going to save you 20%. So go ahead, hop on that now. Make sure it's in the description.